It is comparable to those things you ask for but do not receive until you are ready. And I believe that I had to accomplish whatever growth I had to do. Because we had previously been in the same vicinity, Jennifer and I began to show interest in one another at the perfect moment. We had previously collaborated, but this was the first time we truly connected and had the opportunity to view one another in that light. There's something wrong with this relationship, and you most likely sense it as well, if you've been listening. Jennifer Hudson and Common appear to be a perfect match on the surface. They had the kind of public chemistry that seems perfect for headlines, the polished red carpet pictures, and the easy smiles of a couple. She is an EGOT powerhouse with a triumphant, graceful, and resilient story. He is the cultural icon, activist, and conscientious rapper who always manages to say the right thing while the camera is rolling. They appear to be in a committed relationship, similar to two individuals who have finally worked things out and are relishing the stability that comes with growing up. However, the cracks become more noticeable the closer you examine. The gleaming images don't match the murmurs in the streets. Fans are already feeling tense. This drama is familiar to them. They are adamantly warning Jennifer since they have witnessed it before. Something about this man's past is bursting through the smiles, sis, and threatening to write the ending before the story is even finished. So guard your heart. You know, when you meet folks from your hometown, there's a kind of unwritten language that you all use. And there's a certain something great about that, dude. Since high school, I don't believe I've been in a relationship with anyone from Chicago. Common's problem is that his reputation comes before him. His prior relationships are already screaming louder than anything he could refute, so he doesn't even need to speak a word in an interview to endanger Jennifer. He has mastered a pattern that is so clear and reliable that it has been made into a common joke on the internet. At first, he plays Prince Charming, the gentleman rapper who speaks in poetry and praises. He will talk about true partnership, use words like blessing and gift, and ramble on about how wonderful his girlfriend is, how precious their connection is, and how much she inspires him in interviews until his followers start crying. However, Common finds the way out when the relationship reaches a mature stage and the topic of forever begins to seep into the conversation. Just a calm fade out when he withdraws, says he has to focus on himself, or places the blame on hectic schedules. No drama, no cheating scandal. And the lady he abandons, who is usually caught off guard and must bear the burden of being just another name on the list. Your girlfriend, Jennifer Hudson. How unique do you think that relationship is? That bond is, in fact, one of the biggest blessings and most significant aspects of my life thus far. The relationship itself, the friendship, the partnership, the life partnership, etc. Man, it's one of those situations where you don't really understand what a genuine connection or relationship is until you actually experience it. Because Jennifer is not your average person, people are quite concerned about her. She is a strong woman who has battled her way to the top, earned her spot in history with her EGOT, and created a strong persona that millions of people find admirable. Despite experiencing heartache and unfathomable loss in her personal life, she has always bounced back stronger and has never allowed her personal hardships to define her public empire. It's not only dangerous romantically for her to associate her image with a man who disappears when things get serious. It might damage her reputation. This is what fans are referring to as the actual blast. It's not normal to make fun of her talk show or throw shade during an interview, but history itself is blaring through, alerting Jennifer and everyone else that this appears to be a replay and that the conclusion is already too familiar. Let's go back in time a bit. The public first became aware of their romance in 2022. Whether it was true or only a rumor was unknown at the time. Though neither of them explicitly confirmed anything, they had been spotted together enough times to raise suspicions. There was excitement when they eventually went public. It appeared to be the ideal combination on paper. Common, the Grammy, an Oscar-winning rapper who had established a reputable career as an actor and artist, coupled with Jennifer, the woman who went from American Idol candidate to Oscar winner to talk show host. It was the type of adult connection that Hollywood is known for. They appear to have moved past the chaotic drama of their youth and are now accomplished and polished. However, the honeymoon glow was already waning by the end of 2023, because Common was the one conducting all of the interviews and talking while Jennifer kept quiet. Rumors of breakups began to circulate online. Her name was spoken every time he sat down with a microphone. He described her as amazing. She was a blessing, he said. I feel like I've finally found a true partner, he added. He seemed like he was trying out for Husband of the Year because of how heavy the adulation was. Jennifer, meanwhile, remained composed. She uploaded a picture occasionally, acknowledged that she was happy, and smiled when questioned, but she never went overboard. Because they had already seen this particular film, viewers took that imbalance as a warning sign. Common Man was open about his admiration for Serena Williams when they were dating. He talked on her intelligence, her self-control, and her capacity to inspire him to improve. He gave the impression that she was his true love, but he withdrew when eternity knocked. Serena was direct in her statement. His inability to commit caused the relationship to end. Common later acknowledged that he was the one who left, saying he had to take care of himself. The justification was irrelevant. They established the pattern. It was the same with Taraji P. Hennon. There was no denying their chemistry. They had a passionate romance, and he lauded her as though she were unique. But he wasn't prepared when she demanded stability. Then it died. The story was even more dramatic with Erykah Badu. He was enthralled, writing and rapping about her and acting as though she had possessed him. However, that relationship also ended. Later, he acknowledged that the separation had destroyed him. However, the cause remained the same. He wasn't prepared for permanence. Then Tiffany Haddish arrived. Everyone was cheering for that pairing. During the pandemic, they went public. They appeared content. And Common never stopped praising her. She was beautiful, he said. She had his back, he said. He claimed that he could envision a future with her. However, it ended less than 2 years later. While Common used the standard excuse of hectic schedules, Tiffany acknowledged that she was caught off guard. Supporters rolled their eyes. Hectic schedules. All his career, he had been occupied. They were more aware. Fans are no longer in awe when Common compliments Jennifer in interviews. They don't believe it. They're citing every syllable because to them it sounds like rerun dialogue, the same screenplay he's used before. Each compliment seems more like damage control than romance. People keep saying, didn't he say this exact same thing about Tiffany, about Serena, about Taraji? The more he defends their love. It's impossible to ignore the pattern. Jennifer gets caught in the midst of it, whether she is aware of it or not. The fact that they each manage the spotlight differently makes this even more difficult. There has always been a measurement of Jennifer. She is aware of her value. She is aware of her brand. She is also aware that it is not worth it to let her personal life to overshadow her business. She won't let it take over her story, but she will give you enough to know she's content. Alternatively, Common embraces it. He wants to do interviews discussing her. He wishes to publicly commend her. Fans view that as a performance, even though it may seem pleasant on the surface. They believe he's overcompensating in an attempt to persuade everyone, including himself, that he's sincere this time. However, the internet doesn't believe it. He appears more unsteady the louder he speaks. Furthermore, Jennifer's silence just serves to increase the suspicion. Some claim that she is safeguarding her reputation by keeping her personal life under wraps to avoid casting a shadow over her work. Others believe that by allowing Common to talk while she remains unconcerned, she is allowing him to dig his own grave. In any case, supporters are taking the apparent imbalance as a warning. It appears that Jennifer is just existing while Common Man is running for office. And that's not reassurance in the court of public opinion. Red flag energy is that, because Jennifer only needs to watch the highlight reel of his previous relationships to truly understand what she's getting herself into. Each of these women, Taraji, Tiffany, Erykah, and Serena, is strong and accomplished in her own manner. Common openly lauded them all, but when matters became serious, they were all abandoned. It's not about them. It concerns him. He has established a reputation as the man who can publicly declare his love for you, but is unable to follow through when it comes to forever. Fans are already making predictions about how this will finish because of this. They are certain that he is currently in love with Jennifer. When he describes her as amazing, they don't question that he means it. However, they've seen this film too many times to think it will have a different ending. To be clear, this is more than simply rumors. It goes beyond who is dating whom. It concerns the implications of their connection for their respective legacies. There is more to Jennifer Hudson than just another famous woman. She is a brand, a talk show host, an EGOT winner, and an inspiration. Her life narrative is one of overcoming sorrow and heartbreak to forge fortitude and create an empire. Because she is a symbol of strength, dignity, and victory, her admirers adore her. People are therefore uneasy about her associating her image with a man whose romantic history is essentially a series of unresolved episodes. They are protective of her. They don't want to see her become another name in the usual heartbreak narrative. For his part, Common is also regarded. He has won both an Oscar and a Grammy, is a well-known musician and activist, and has adapted to Hollywood with ease. But for decades, he has been known as Mr. Can't Commit. Each breakup strengthens it even further. The same question comes up in every new relationship. How much longer before he withdraws once more? No matter how much poetry he writes, the murmurs will continue until he demonstrates that he can stay. That's why this relationship feels so high stakes. It won't be another split if Common resumes his trend with Jennifer. It will be a PR catastrophe. They told her so, according to the internet. He will always be stuck with the image of the uncommittal man. No matter how wonderful the woman was, Jennifer will have to fabricate yet another heartbreaking tale, putting her fortitude to the test. It won't be just personal. It will be public and it will stick. Fans are already divided. Some others are cheering for Jennifer in the hopes that she would end the cycle. They highlight her accomplishments, strength, and no-nonsense outlook on life. She is the one who can convince him to settle down. They claim that she is too mature, strong, and successful for the same old tale. However, it is not being accepted by the other half of the internet. Their predictions have already been posted. They're preparing for the split already. They don't care about Jennifer's achievements or strength. Common's pattern is at issue. Furthermore, patterns are honest. Ultimately, Common Man doesn't have to disparage Jennifer in an interview. He doesn't have to create a fight or make fun of others. All the blasting is being done for him by his previous relationships. The voices of Tiffany, Erica, Taraji, and Serena reverberate whenever he compliments her. Every time he declares he's found a true companion, the internet remembers how many times he stated the same thing previously. People are watching this love story because of this, even though Jennifer claims to be content. Because Jennifer Hudson's heart is next in line if history repeats itself. The reality is that Common criticizes Jennifer without saying a word. His history already has.